Breaks during your day.
And number one, whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man, how the heck are you? It's Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, and I can't believe I'm already saying it. We're a week away from October. And I know we've been saying that for like a week, but it's crazy that October is almost here. We are 2 months and 1 day away from Hawaii. So I'm really excited about that. Snowboarding season. Have you had your Epic Pass yet?
I have not, no.
Brick got hers. Mrs. Monty got her Epic Pass in the mail already.
Well, I never get anything in the mail that I should, so it's fine.
Well, maybe live in a real apartment building, and you will.
Thank you.
Where the women get vaccinated. Anyway, all right, we have got a lot to get to today. Our non-sports stuff today is probably going to be
hilarious.
Lit. There's more ass vacuuming that I had to pay for. The Gabby Petito story, I don't know what the cops are doing. Why are you running around the swamp in Florida? You know the guy ain't there. You know he's not there. What are you doing there? Got to talk about Thursday Night Football. Got to talk about this stupid NBA Top 100 list from Sports Illustrated. It's the worst list I've ever seen. Ever.
Yeah.
In whose universe is Donovan Mitchell not as good as Rudy Gobert?
Where are we at in society today?
I don't know. I really don't know already. I really don't know where we are in society today when Rudy Gobert is ranked ahead of Donovan Mitchell on any list. I don't. But speaking of ranked ahead and probably overrated. All right, let's get to the pissed everybody off portion of the program right now to start. Jimmer, the legend, Jimmer Fredette, is going into the BYU Hall of Fame. And anytime Jimmer Fredette's name comes up, the inevitable question that has to be asked and answered is Jimmer Fredette overrated? Now, not for going into the BYU Hall of Fame. I don't think anybody questions Jimmer, because you can't just say Jimmer.
It's like power rankings. You can't just say power rankings.
Power rankings. JJ, what? Jimmer. Jimmer is BYU's all-time leading scorer. Jimmer is a guy that averaged 29 points a game in college, shot the lights out. Everything he did at BYU turned to blue fairy dust. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But I do think the image that we have of Jimmer as a basketball player is overrated, and how can it not be? After everything that Jimmer did, okay, now I have to stop because it's driving me crazy. Everything that Jimmer Fredette did at BYU was spectacular. But everything he's done since he left BYU has been mediocre at best, especially in the NBA. Now, the guy's been amazing in China. But Jimmer Fredette is, I think the legend of Jimmer Fredette is overrated, Jake. Am I wrong about that?
No, I don't think you're wrong about it. I think that, because of what he did at BYU, he was put on this pedestal. I mean, you don't often see college basketball players averaging 29 a game. I mean, that's like lighting the world on fire. So to me, for Jimmer, I just feel like he was put on this pedestal that, unfortunately, he was never going to be able to live up to. I mean, you're talking about, in terms of popularity and in terms of like, how many people knew who Jimmer was at the time. I mean, this guy was as popular as any other athlete coming out of college that you could think of. I mean, he's never going to get compared to LeBron in any sense of the imagination, but this is the one area where I could say, okay, Jimmer coming out of BYU, this guy was a folk hero, a legend. And then because he's undersized and doesn't want to play defense, he never got it done in the NBA. So he had to go over to China, and in China, he was able to get it done. He was able to be everything that you would want to be as a professional basketball player because the level of talent there is a little bit lower and the game is different, which is fine. That's 100% fine. But is he overrated? Yes, he's overrated. And I don't think that needs to be a, well, you guys hate Jimmer thing. It doesn't need to be that way.
Wait, we don't hate Jimmer. Are you sure?
Why?
Do we need to rethink that?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I don't hate Jimmer. I think one of the things we tend to do is we just tend to value guys very highly. And I get it. Jimmer Fredette was a spectacular player at BYU. But I also think there's nothing wrong with saying that Jimmer Fredette just wasn't good enough to play in the NBA. Jimmer's been in the NBA for, 6 or 7 years? He's had multiple stops, whether it was being a lottery pick in Sacramento, played with the Bulls, had a chance with the Knicks. Like, Jimmer Fredette has been around, and he's never been able to stick on an NBA roster. His time with Utah, his time with Phoenix, he was just not able to stick. And I think this isn't about a coach giving him a chance, because he's gotten a ton of chances. There's one axiom that Jeremy Lin proved true in the NBA. If you can score the ball, you're going to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
And coaches don't care where you came from. They only care what you can do for them now. And Jimmer just has not been able, in my opinion, to consistently score the ball and compete athletically at the NBA level. It's why he's so dominant in China, because the Chinese Basketball Association is a massive step backwards in talent. The guys that play over there are not competitive. The guys that play over there are usually not NBA talent. And the best NBA talent that goes over there usually dominates. Guys have become incredible. Guys like Stephen Marbury, who's arguably the greatest player ever in the CBA, goes over there and dominates, builds an entire brand, sells shoes, becomes an icon. Well, Jimmer's on the path to doing the same thing, and if reports are true, Jimmer is returning to Shanghai this year to continue his basketball career. And I say, hey, good on you, dude. You're an incredible player, but you're just not good enough to play in the NBA. And, Jake, I think there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it either. And I think that we make too much out of guys not being good enough for the NBA, but being good enough for the Chinese Basketball Association or wherever. It's like LaMelo playing in Lithuania, right? Like, everybody criticized him and hated on him and said that was stupid, and it's all worked out. And so I just think for some guys like Jimmer, going over there is what will allow them to make the most money and have the best career for them. And that's the thing. That's the beautiful part about Jimmer. This guy, it's not like Jimmer Fredette is a solo guy who all he cares about is playing basketball. This is a family man. This is somebody who has businesses. Like, he's doing things in life. And so to me, I just think that he's everything you would want. You would want a BYU alumni to be, right? He's a great guy. You're not going to find him, doing dumb things off the court. Like, he's everything you want him to be. So again, is he overrated? Absolutely. But that's no fault of his own. That had nothing to do with Jimmer, right? It's not like Jimmer ran a bunch of smack out there saying that he was going to roll out into the league and be the next Michael Jordan. He never said any of that. He just showed up and did the absolute best he could. And his best isn't good enough for the league, but it's good enough for the Chinese Basketball Association. It's good enough to do some things over there. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Jimmer. Is he overrated? Absolutely. 100%. That said, is it fun to watch Jimmer play basketball? Yes, it is. Is it fun to YouTube Jimmer Fredette NCAA bracket or NCAA tournament highlights? Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun because when he's shooting it from, 25 feet, 30 feet, yeah, that's a ton of fun. And that's why he was such a sensation. So I agree with you 100% that I don't think there's any hate in saying that Jimmer Fredette is overrated.
Yeah, and I know it's a real sore subject for BYU fans, and I think when you think about the greatest players to come through, Provo or certainly up at the University of Utah, you have some really good talent. Jimmer Fredette's arguably the greatest basketball player in the history of Utah. His impact, the ride that he took BYU fans and BYU basketball on to the tournament, the Sweet 16, all of those moments, you're never going to forget that. The incredible Kyle Gunther story about, faking an appearance by Jimmer Fredette in Provo, and the streets were full and people were looking for him. And it's an unbelievable story. Like, that's who Jimmer Fredette is. And he's just not a very good NBA player. And I think that's the hardest part the thing that's crazy to me is that BYU has such a rich athletic tradition. But I feel like BYU athletics, they're always fighting for credibility.
Yeah.
You're always fighting to be like, oh, Jimmer's a great player. You don't say that about the Jimmer.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, he was an amazing college basketball player. He's an amazing player in China. but he just wasn't good enough to play in the NBA. You know what I mean? Am I wrong
No,
about that?
I
feel
don't
like
think you're wrong about it. I understand why BYU folks get defensive about their star players or star alumni. You know, it's like, think about Zach Wilson. I mean, let's say that Zach Wilson leads the Jets to a 1-15 or 1-16 season or whatever, a 1-win season. You know, what are people going to say then? Well, he was overrated. Well, he's not very good. You know, BYU talent's not very good. And the fact is that's not true. You know, you've got plenty of guys that have come out of BYU in multiple different sports who have done some amazing things at the professional level. So I just think that and this kind of speaks to the way the media works in sports, you know, in the way the narrative kind of works in sports. If you're not good enough at the pro level to get it done and accomplish things, you're going to be considered overrated. It's Greg Oden 2.0. Greg Oden was one of the highest drafted NBA prospects in recent times who did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. And it's a real shame. You should look at his story if you want to talk about an overrated guy. And so I just look at all these different examples and I say, man, like, you know, it's not that they don't want to be great. They want to be great. Every athlete wants to be their best version of them on whatever their field is, their court, their field, whatever. And just because Jimmer couldn't get it done at the NBA level doesn't make him a bad guy. But yes, he is overrated. He's overhyped. BYU fans think he is the Joseph Smith of basketballing, and that's not true. And that's okay.
wow. The Joseph Smith
Yeah.
of basketballing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the death threats are going to stream, which is fine.
I'm a man.
You are, and you better be ready to take that.
Yeah. I'm ready.
You better be ready to take that. Anyway, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's get some of your comments in here. And look, please don't turn this into, oh my God, you're such dicks. Okay, well, it may be true. It may be true that we are such dicks. That could be. But let's just not make too much of this. Right out of the gate. Brylark says, morning, boys. First Thursday night snoozer tonight. Panthers going to win by 50. Expect the Texans rookie to throw 2 picks. Could be. Jammer came, just didn't fit the NBA. Jammer's game. You mean Jimmer? Hey, Dane. Dane says, morning, boys. Spencer Morgan says, good morning, yay, Jimmer talk. Okay. I heard Ben Simmons wants to go to Shanghai with Jimmer. Could be. Let's see. Spencer Morgan says, Jimmer never asked to be the savior for the hopes of all the balding, short, white Mormon dudes. I think I actually remember a conversation back in the day where I think Jimmer did specifically ask to be the savior of balding white men.
Well.
And as a balding white man, Jimmer is my savior.
I want it.
I'm thirsty.
Right.
No, he did not ask to be the savior. But see, I think that's something that we do in sports is that we anoint guys as the savior or, oh my God, he's the Jimmer. Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we buy our kids who've never heard of Jimmer Fredette, we buy them Jimmer Fredette jerseys.
How many kids at that time when Jimmer was everything in this state, how many kids were out there playing basketball saying Jimmer after every shot? You know, like he was a legend, dude, and he still is.
Well, and congratulations to Jimmer for going into the BYU Hall of Fame. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, he is, if there ever was a no-brainer, this is the no-brainer. But
yeah.
I almost find myself frustrated in talking about Jimmer Fredette. I don't like, honest to goodness, I don't like talking about Jimmer. I think he's one of those guys that you're just not allowed to have an open, honest discussion about because there will always be, well, he never got a chance. Oh, he's a Mormon. They're worried he won't play on Sunday. Like, come on, guy. Really, he just wasn't good enough to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's not athletic enough. He's great in China. He was great at BYU, just not in the NBA.
Yeah.
Horatio Hornblower says, the Davies suspension killed the team in Jimmer's senior year. Still breaks my heart. That was a weak year. They could have won. They could have won it all. Jimmer wasn't great in the pros. BYU fans have accepted that. Oh, have they really? No, I don't think they have. Bryce Jensen says Ben Simmons can be Jesus Christ and Jimmer can be Joseph Smith.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. You know. Dane says, didn't Jimmer break a bunch of Yao Ming's records in the CBA? I don't know. Did he? I mean, Jimmer's been unbelievable there.
I wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
I mean, Jimmer's a great player. I don't, and this is the thing. Again, I will just say, I don't want to turn this into, Monty and Jake hate Jimmer Fredette, because that's just not the case. I like his. I follow an account, where all they do is post Jimmer highlights.
Yeah.
His Chinese highlights are unbelievable. If you go to YouTube and just search Jimmer Fredette China, the highlights are unbelievable.
And then you want to search the Monty Show and subscribe so you can win the Traeger and the Xbox.
True, yeah. By the way, somebody asked yesterday when we're giving the Xbox away. Whenever we feel like it. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. But we're giving the Traeger away at 2,500. I don't know where we are as far as subs.
We're doing the sub check.
We're doing the sub check.
The meteoric rise.
2,187. That's pretty good. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay. So almost at 2,200.
Every day. Now we're moving up to 2,200. So let's go. Hit that subscribe button. Tag us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Yes, I love TikTok. We've had a lot of fun on TikTok. I'm worried about the Chinese stealing my firstborn child through TikTok, but it's fine.
Okay.
Just tag The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show. Jake is SLC Supercars. Tag us both on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok in a picture that you're subscribed in. You could win the Xbox, and we will definitely be giving that and the Traeger Smoker away right here on the show. All right, let's transition to this ridiculous NBA Top 100 list.
So it's just,
from Sports Illustrated.
I don't know what they were thinking making this list.
I do. I think this is clickbait. Honest to goodness. I think this is clickbait. I look at, by the way, real quick, did you guys hear about this story with the Timberwolves?
Yeah, they're burning it down.
No, they're not. So they fired their president of basketball operations and general manager, Gerson Rosas.
Sure.
Out of the blue, nobody knows why.
Uh-huh.
Well, then it comes out that it was discovered that Gerson Rosas, who is married, had a consensual sexual relationship with a member of the organization. And that ultimately led to an investigation that found many troubling incidents or issues, and that's why they fired him.
Amazing what happens when you sleep with your coworkers.
This, according to The Athletic. It is really odd that a general manager and president of basketball operations would be fired 4 days before they open training camp.
Yeah.
It's crazy. By the way, there's another powerful guy that falls at the foot of some sex.
Yep. Time and time again.
All right. Jake has no comment on that.
It's over and over again. It's repeated. It's the same thing. Tiger Woods, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, this douche, Bill Clinton, how many guys are going to be on the list?
I thought you said this douche.
Yeah, he's a douche. He's a douche.
Okay. Can I just offer some recommendations for the young people? For all the kids listening at home.
Right.
If you want to relate on a procreatorial level with another woman, get a divorce.
All gas, no brake.
Pretty simple. Please don't cheat on your wives. Girlfriends are different. Anyway, never talk to your dad about this. Anyway, all right. This list of the top 100 players is stupid. SINow.com. You can find it on my Twitter feed, The Monty Show. MONTY, The Monty Show.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is the stupidest list I've ever seen. We should just skip to 31 through 11.
Okay.
I mean, it's ridiculous from number one, Jordan Clarkson being the 100th best player in the NBA, behind Larry Nance Jr. That's one right away there. I'm like, you're an idiot. All right, let's go. Here's number 31. Okay. Hello. Number 30 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay. That's respectable.
Number 29 is Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls. Okay, so just right away, I'm taking Zach LaVine every day over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
So you're dumb. 28, Drew Holiday is better than Zach LaVine? No. 27, Jaylen Brown is better than Zach LaVine.
I think that's close.
No.
I think that's close.
Fuck no. Come on. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Zach LaVine is far better than Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown is a limited offensive player and can be defended. Zach LaVine can score. He showed in the Olympic tournament, unlike Rudy Gobert. Okay. There was a joke. Relax. Yeah. Relax. Take it easy, France. I think in the Olympic tournament, Zach LaVine showed he's a different player. He can shoot the three. He can get to the basket, and he is a very good defender. He is better than Jaylen Brown. There's no doubt. 26, Chris Middleton is better than Zach LaVine. Yeah, absolutely he is.
Yeah, and he should be higher on the list.
26th? Are you kidding? You're telling me Ja Morant's better than Chris Middleton? No. Donovan Mitchell is 24th. 24th. You're telling me that at 23, Karl Anthony Towns is better than Donovan Mitchell. Sorry. I don't think he is.
Because it's garbage.
I think that Donovan Mitchell's a better player than Karl Anthony Towns. Are you telling me that at 22, Bam Adebayo is a better player than Donovan Mitchell?
Come on.
All right, now listen. If wherever you're listening, whenever you're listening, audio podcast, live here on the old YouTube machine, if you're in the car right now, if you're at home, please sit down. If you're in the car, please place your hands at 10 and 2. If you're unable to pull over, just please at least take your foot off the accelerator when I tell you the 21st player in the NBA who's better than, according to SI now, better than Donovan Mitchell, number 21, Rudy Gobert.
Makes me want to puke.
Are you serious?
What is this list?
Rudy Gobert is a better player than Donovan Mitchell.
What?
In what world are you making this list? Just out of curiosity, how much peyote did you ingest? When you put this list together? Because there is not a planet or a Neptune, sci-fi channel thing where Rudy Gobert is a better player than Donovan Mitchell. That Rudy Gobert is a better center than Karl Anthony Towns. Sorry, man. That just is not. Now, is Rudy Gobert better than Bam Adebayo? Yeah, but so is your mom. That's not saying much. Are you serious that Rudy Gobert is better than Donovan Mitchell?
No.
Let me read you what they wrote. Gobert remains the only player in the NBA capable of anchoring a playoff caliber defense no matter who else is on the floor alongside him. Does that include Terrence Mann or no? His greatness as a rim protector and a space eater is why Utah's scheme works. Well, not sure how to,
3/4 of this is inaccurate.
Yeah, not sure how to break this to you. That scheme defensively didn't really work in the playoffs.
Oh my God, dude. What is the logic here, bro?
In the paint, the Jazz routinely got outscored. Rudy was exposed desperately in the Clippers series.
Man.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just don't understand how you have Rudy Gobert ranked ahead of any of these guys. I'm
wait.
Okay.
SI continued. As we've seen, this value conversation is more difficult in the postseason, where Gobert's free throw issues, lack of mobility in space, and limited offensive skills become much more glaring in a 7-game series. So then you probably guys forgot to hit the backspace button on the first 2 sentences. Okay, well, what did they write about?
Hold on. At the top of this list, do they preface this by saying this is the top 100 players in the regular season? Is that what this list is about?
No.
Because that's what they're doing. They're saying this guy is, what did you say his rank is?
21?
21st. 21st in the NBA. But then in the description as to why that's his rank, you're saying, oh, well, he's amazing.
He's really good in the regular season.
But in the postseason, he's trash. What? How does that work?
He ain't very good in the postseason.
How does that work?
The rankings were determined by Chris Herring, Ronan Nadkarni, Michael Pina, and Jeremy Wu, who are a panel of NBA writers. Through a combination of data and subjective evaluation, as far as the content of those discussions is concerned, consider the first rule of Fight Club.
I doubt that.
maybe we should just never talk about. Do you know how many issues of Sports Illustrated I had delivered to my house as a kid?
Hundreds.
Do you know how many covers I had thumbtacked onto my wall as a kid? And this is how you pay me back? All right. Here's what they wrote about the legend, Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
There are nights when Donovan Mitchell is simply unstoppable offensively, particularly when he has his pull-up three working. The argument against placing him higher is how neatly he slots into a Jazz team that allows him to focus on offense and not his defensive shortcomings. Still, with respect he commands from defenses, Mitchell should be in the top 25 of this list for years to come. Okay, so then he doesn't have a mid-range game. Oh, wait, yeah, he does. Well, then he doesn't get to the basket, Donovan. Oh, wait, he does. What are you talking about? Wait, are you ready?
Oh.
Do you guys watch basketball games?
So get your facts straight.
This is ridiculous. I honestly, I believe that these guys don't watch much Jazz basketball. And I don't usually say that, but this is so far off the reservation.
Yeah. It's impressive. I mean, it's almost impressive how far off it is. Like I just think the biggest thing is for the Jazz, and we've had this happen several times over the course of last season. There's many examples of this where people just don't know, this team. They don't know, the fact that, last season, oh my God, this is ESPN. The Jazz have the most depth in the league. That's crap. They don't, dude. That is wrong. Just blatantly wrong. Yet now we have this list saying that Rudy Gobert is somehow a better player?
A more impactful player. In fact, they say of Rudy Gobert, for as long as Gobert can prolong his physical prime, he'll remain a difference maker. But there's something to be said for the Jazz's sustained success and, of course, his role in it.
But what success?
What sustained success the Jazz had? That's what I'm asking.
I guess going to the postseason is success, yes. But on the same,
but you haven't. You went out in the first round back-to-back years, and then you went out in the second round. I don't know. Is that sustained success? Yeah, man. We have consistently sustained a level of going out early in the playoffs. What are you talking about? Sustained success? And I'm not at all trying to be a jerk about. No, Kevin, I am not trolling. This is crazy. This is crazy. Crazy.
Dude.
Brylark says Sports Illustrated hasn't been relevant in a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Horatio Hornblower says in Europe, Gobert is probably more valuable.
I would agree.
Did they write this in Europe?
Maybe.
They must have.
Yeah.
They must have. Brandon Whiteside says it wasn't Rudy. It was our ability to get zero perimeter defense. I mean, zero. Well, when you ask Rudy to go guard Terrence Mann or Patrick Beverly, it doesn't generally work out well. Brylark says Rudy shouldn't be higher than 30 max.
Yeah.
Bryce Jensen, Luka's mom should be first. See, now we're talking about a real list.
Yeah, now you're getting into some quality,
Yeah. But seriously, this list is worse than Rudy Gobert's jump shot. My guy.
Well played.
Josh Lovren says Rudy 21st on the SINBA list, but first on the NBA COVID list. Oh, my God. Wow.
The coronavirus.
Cody Strickland.
Yes.
Okay, guys, chill. Rudy is overpaid, and we can't do anything about it now. All we can do is smile and enjoy life. Or rip Sports Illustrated for being high as a kite for this list.
Bro.
The blind swordsman DS. Donovan is the best scoring guard with Dame. Okay, let's not get carried away. There's a little guy named Steph Curry. I mean, I'm just saying. If you want to talk about guards that score, there's a little guy named Kyrie, who we're going to get to in a minute. Take it easy. You guys are bombing Rudy in France more than World War II. Listen, man.
And kick a person when he's down.
I'm trying.
I am too. Oh, let me get this right. You lost in the second round. You got embarrassed. Then you went to the Olympics and you got your ass kicked. Now you're putting out videos of you making jump shots that you're never going to attempt in the NBA, and you're going to go out again in the postseason this year.
What is the over-under on the number of 10-foot or more jump shots Rudy Gobert makes this season?
Makes 5. Not even kidding, 5.
You think he'll make at least 5 jumpers?
5.
I don't think he'll make more than 2. I think he might attempt 5 jump shots. But I don't see Rudy Gobert being like, hey, man, let me hit that elbow jumper auto.
Auto.
No, man. All right, let me keep going with this list because it's kind of comical. So Rudy at 21.
Yeah.
Number 20 is Zion Williamson.
Jesus.
Number 19 is Kyrie Irving.
How is he 19 on?
19.
I'm not a Kyrie guy, but there's no disputing he's not the 19th best player in the league.
They say his availability is often in question. He's generally going to be his team's third option, but it's not often you see a 50-40-90 season from a scorer who also has Angelo level skill as a ball handler. So wait, you just said he's never available. He's the team's third option, and he still went 50, 40, and 90. And he's a Michelangelo at passing. But he's 19th in the NBA. Behind Chris Paul on the Phoenix Suns, who's 18th.
Okay, scroll down the list. Where's Steph Curry on this list? Steph Curry surely has to be top 10, right?
But wait, there's more. So Kyrie's 19.
Okay.
Chris Paul's 18. Trae Young is 17th.
Bro.
Trae Young's better. Trae Young's better than Kyrie Irving?
He is more available.
In what league are you watching? No.
He is more available.
No.
He's more available.
No. Hell no.
Twitter's been going crazy.
No, we are not taking Trae Young over Kyrie Irving.
Mean mugging Trae Young in New York was pretty fun to watch, I have to admit. It was pretty fun to watch.
You're seriously taking Trae Young over Kyrie Irving?
I mean, I'm taking 70 games out of Trae Young over 30 out of Kyrie. Yeah,
you're
I
an
am.
asshole.
Crack, ice, boom, pow.
What is wrong with you? Seriously. In what world are you taking Jimmy Butler at 14?
Okay, yeah, that's not good.
Jimmy Butler 14th, Kyrie Irving 19th, Donovan Mitchell 24th. Jimmy Butler's 10 spots better than Donovan Mitchell?
No.
By the way, Rudy Gobert's better than Jimmy Butler? Oh, no, they didn't do that at least. Jason Tatum, 13th. Paul George, 12th.
I'm curious where Book is on this list.
17th.
So Tatum is better than Book, according to SI.
No, he's... Donovan Mitchell's 24th, and Devin Booker's 17th. No, this list is...
I don't know how that works. I honestly don't know how that works.
This list is... Or 16th, excuse me.
Book is 16th.
16th.
Okay.
It's insulting.
Okay, top 10. Do you have top 10? Yeah,
I don't have that in front of me. Damian Lillard is 11th. They don't release the top 10 until today.
Yeah, top 10 comes out today. Man, what a trash list, dude. Holy crap.
I don't need...
And by the way, it should be said, Bogey's like 74th on the list, dude.
Bojan Bogdanovic is 74th.
Like, how?
But let me read you. This is mind-blowing. Andrew Wiggins is 88th. Jaren Jackson, 87. Jaren Jackson's better than Andrew Wiggins? Jonas Valanciunas is better than Andrew Wiggins.
Apparently.
Duncan Robinson is better than Andrew Wiggins. Okay. Dylan Brooks is better. Jared Allen is better than Dylan Brooks. Jared Allen's 83rd. Jared Allen is non-existent in this league.
I don't know about that.
He is he plays in nobody knows who
Cleveland.
You're telling me that Seth Curry he's 81st? Robert Covington's better than Seth Curry. No.
That's not true.
No, Robert Covington is better than Brooke Lopez.
No.
Robert Covington is better than Jared Allen, Dylan Brooks, Duncan Robinson. No, he's not. Robert Covington is incredibly limited. Buddy Hield is 79th.
That's disrespect.
Terry Rozier is 78th.
Bro.
Anthony Edwards is better. This makes my head hurt, man.
Anthony
Edwards
is
is
good,
7. Yeah, but are you telling me that Anthony Edwards is better than Buddy Hield? And I mean, I guess that's close. Buddy Hield's arguably the best three-point shooter in the NBA by percentage.
What is their argument for Anthony Edwards? What do they say?
The number 1 pick in 2020 faced a predictably steep learning curve, but proved he's a quick learner. Boasting elite athletic gifts, Edwards averaged 24 points a game on 56.7% true shooting after the All-Star break.
Oh, so now we're using true shooting.
Yes. Edwards could rocket up this list as his growth continues. Lonzo Ball is 76th. Spencer Dinwiddie, who hasn't played in the league in 2 years, is better than Lonzo Ball?
Apparently. Yeah, I just think
Are
that
you
this
serious?
list it's jacked, dude.
Bojan Bogdanovic, 74th. Dejounte Murray, 73rd. Joe Harris, 72nd. Are you telling me that Joe Harris is better than Bojan Bogdanovic? There's no chance in the world.
Yeah, last time I checked, Joe Harris ain't putting up 50.
Bojan Bogdanovic is a potential number 1 option on the lowest 5 teams in the NBA. Joe Harris is a shooter. He's a role player.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me with this list? Of Bojan Bogdanovic, they say in May 2020, we're going back 2 years. In May 2020, season-ending surgery on Bogdanovic's right wrist knocked the veteran forward out of Utah's bubble run, providing major loss. Last season, Bogdanovic returned and further proved his worth, serving as both a reliable shooter and more than capable creator. Toward the end of the regular season, when Donovan Mitchell went down with an ankle injury, he went down midway. Okay, I'll move on. Bogdanovic thrived, averaging 22.8 points on the regular season's final 16 games. So he's 74th in the NBA, behind Dejounte Murray, Joe Harris. Colin Sexton is rated ahead. Miles Turner is rated at. Stop it. 69, Kemba Walker.
69.
Come on. Joe Ingles, 68th, is ahead of Bojan Bogdanovic. Joe Ingles is 68th.
Where are we at in society today?
I don't know what the hell they're doing with this list, dude.
The Australian swingman produces more than his 12.1 points and 4.7 assists per game. Serving as Utah's secondary ball handler, spot-up shooter, and prior to last season, resident Iron Man. Ingles shot a blistering 45% from 3 last season. He's a nightmare for defenses off the bounce. Did Joe Ingles one time dribble drive to the basket last year? His underwhelming build, pinging passes to open shooters with ease off of each hand. What Jazz team are you watching?
Yeah, I don't know.
That
dude.
wasn't Joe Ingles last year.
Yeah.
By the way, Harrison Barnes is 67. Christian Wood is 66.
He's an athlete, but I don't think he's better than Bogey. That's for sure.
Are you kidding me? Josef Nurkic in Portland is 65th. You're taking Nurkic. Stop. Anyway, I continue. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 64th. Aaron Gordon, 63rd. Karis LeVert, 62nd. D'Angelo Russell, 61st. And Marcus Smart ahead of D'Angelo Russell. This list is amazing.
Yeah.
This list is trash, dude.
Yeah.
You know, this list is trash. Do you think the list is as bad or worse than the NFL Top 100 is a joke too? And I know these lists are difficult to put together. Like, I'm not trying to be Mr. All-Knowing. I do know everything.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Duh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But this list is embarrassing. This
Yeah,
is like, this is a you don't watch the NBA list. That's what this is. Like, and then some of the names that are not on this list. How is John Wall not on this list? John Wall is not one of the top 100 players in the NBA.
I'm with you. He should be. He absolutely is a top 100 player. And let's stop saying top 100 player in the NBA. Top 100 player in the world, because the NBA is the best league in the world.
I'm amazed by that. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
like,
I think these lists are really difficult to put together, and I think that you it's hard. They say some dumb things. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Brylark says this list is dumb. Can we stop wasting our time on it? Cody Strickland says, what list are you reading? This sounds like a crap list. This is Sports Illustrated top 100 players for 2022. Sports Illustrated's top 100 players.
All right.
The more you read, the worse it gets, LOL. Seriously.
Yeah.
Cody says, Trey at least plays in the NBA, unlike Kyrie. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, yeah, Kyrie's a better player, but he's just never available. That's the issue.
Bryce Jensen says, I take it all back. This list is worse than Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
We're 5 days away from Jazz training camp in Vegas. 5 days.
We're 5 days away from the best time of the sporting year.
By the way, here's a question for everybody. What is the single biggest Utah Jazz storyline going into training camp?
I think it's I think there's two of them. The single biggest one is Rudy Gobert and his game, because that is the single most important thing that will either crush them or take them to the next level.
I would
That is
agree.
like the single most important, impactful thing to watch. But I think a close second to that is Butler and what they do with him, because if he can come off the bench for 15 minutes a night initially, and he can knock down 3 or 4 threes for them, or he can basically get 10 points off the bench. However, he wants to do that.
Stop. Oh my God.
Did it
My
happen?
iPhone has been shipped. It
Wow.
will arrive. Oh my. Okay, it's all better now. The sun has risen.
Good.
Yeah, it is risen. I feel better. Good point, Jordan Hall. Why are we talking about b-ball during football season? The single biggest story on this team is who is going to back up Mike Conley and who's going to be a productive point guard when Mike Conley gets hurt, because Donovan Mitchell and Joe Ingles are not options on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I think that's the biggest story. And then has Rudy Gobert improved at all offensively? Can Rudy Gobert dribble drive? Can Rudy Gobert take the ball at the elbow and dribble drive to the lane?
Yeah.
Because his shot percentage when he puts the ball on the floor is atrocious. So we'll see. Let's talk NFL. It's Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night football, MFers.
The king of crappy NFL matchups.
So while you're clicking on the thumbs up and give us a like, because it really does help the channel grow here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on audio podcast, by the way, I've been meaning to say this. I worked really hard to get us on Amazon. So now you can tell the A word, because mine is sitting right here. You can say, hey,
The A word.
hey, Alexa, play the Monty
heard
Show
you.
podcast. Oh, she did?
No, that's a lie.
Okay, good. You can say, hey, Alexa, play the Monty Show podcast, and she will play it. So just ask the A word. Hey, Alexa, play the Monty Show podcast.
This is Monty in the Morning.
Stop it.
Ah.
There she goes. Alexa, stop. And so she started playing it. But you can do that. You can find our podcast anywhere you get podcasts. All you have to do is Google search The Monty Show. Monty, The Monty Show is where you find our podcast. Or, of course, you can go to themontyshow.com to find us on YouTube. I am super stoked.
For what?
The iPhone's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fire.
The iPhone 13 Pro Max.
Yeah.
Going to be amazing. Thursday night football. This game is going to be shocking to some people. The line on Thursday night tonight is Carolina at Houston. Carolina's an 8-point favorite. 8-point favorite. Where do you come down on Sam Darnold? Is he a guy that you feel like is developing? Is he a guy that, much like Zach Wilson, the Jets were what was wrong and it wasn't Darnold? Like,
Yeah.
where do you come down on this?
Yeah, I think Sam is a guy who suffered from being in an awful organization and not having talent around him. And it's not as though he's got, a ton of all pros around him in Carolina, but at least, he's got something to work with in Christian McCaffrey. He's got something to work with on the outside. And so I think that he's benefiting from that, just from that alone. And I think that in this game tonight, what you're going to see is you're obviously going to see a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey, of course. But then I think you're going to see, as this game wears on, Sam is going to make the predictable turnover. That's going to happen. He's going to make that mistake. So when I look at this and I see the -8 for Carolina on the road, I say, okay, -8 is just high enough where you have to consider, will Houston cover that? Will they come in and lose this game by less than 8 points? And my answer is yes. I think they will. I think this ends up being a field goal game. I think this game is tight. And I think that the only thing that will prevent Carolina from winning this game is Sam Darnold throwing interceptions. And I think what Houston's going to try to do to him is bring a lot of pressure, because last week what we saw is that pressure can push him into a mistake. He's not quite polished enough yet where he understands, okay, the blitz is coming, let me get it out to my back in the flat and live to fight another day. He's not quite there yet.
Yep, I would agree with that. And I think when you look at the fact this is an 8-point number.
Yeah.
In favor of the Carolina Panthers, or an 8-point favorite
Doesn't that
going
feel
on
kinda
the road.
big?
It's huge going on the road, but this tells you that the boys in Vegas do not trust a rookie quarterback to lead the Texans to a win here,
Yeah.
which of course leads us to what are they doing with Deshaun Watson?
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge problem, and I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson should be playing. They should have traded Deshaun Watson long before now, because now it's a distraction. And I don't know what you do if you are the Houston Texans until you trade him. And I mean, at this point, do you think they trade him this season? I don't know. But there's been no charges filed against Deshaun Watson. He has maintained his innocence. And at this point, I don't know what justification you have for not trading him. This is a guy that has, in my opinion, tremendous trade value to you. But every day you hang on to him is another day that you're losing money on Deshaun Watson, because you have to pay him. You have no reason. They are paying him not to play. You have no reason to not play him. These allegations are heinous, but there have been no criminal charges. This has been nothing more than a grandstanding effort in an effort to bring down Deshaun Watson's reputation, Jake. I think at this point, as every day goes on without charges, and this tune will change, if they charge Deshaun Watson criminally, my tune on Deshaun Watson will change. But every day that goes on and they don't charge Deshaun, he becomes a victim here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hit piece until they charge him. I mean,
Yes,
that's just the simple
absolutely.
truth of it. I mean, it is a hit job. It is a we want to ruin your career attempt. That's what it is, and I think it's working. He's not playing football, and in the big picture, for I'm guessing most of the NFL fan base, Deshaun is viewed as someone who beats women, and that's just really unfortunate. And I think that it does speak volumes about the Texans' desires with Deshaun, that they have not traded him, because their phone has been ringing.
Yes.
People have been calling. People want Deshaun Watson, and they're unwilling to make it happen. And I think it to me, again, and I know this sucks, and I hate saying it, but at the end of the day, this is still on Deshaun. This is Deshaun's fault.
Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
he wasn't there, he wouldn't be here. He'd still be playing football, and we'd still be getting awesome press conferences where he's got his hands in the air talking about, 2 high safeties and hitting the crossing route. That's what we'd have. But now we don't get to have that. So to me, when I look at this game, Deshaun Watson, double underline, asterisk, parentheses, triple circles, sitting over here on the right-hand side of your page when you're looking at the preview on this game. But the fact is that this game is all about 2 young quarterbacks who are going to make a lot of mistakes. And that's why this game is going to be a dirty game. That's why this game is going to be a rough game to watch. But at the end of the day, that's NFL football. And so it's just going to be a matter of who capitalizes on the turnovers. That's going to be what decides this game.
Yeah, and I think that you have Davis Mills, who's a rookie, but he also didn't look terrible in his debut for the Texans last week. I mean, it's really unfortunate that Water's wet and Tyrod Taylor's hurt. It
Seriously.
just is what it is, right? But Davis Mills is a guy that I think is more capable than people are giving him credit for. I can't believe that the Texans win this game on any level, but they're not losing by 8 at home. I think they'll surprise. This feels like a 27-20. This feels like a 27-21, 28-21 kind of game. I think Darnold has absolutely proven himself to be an NFL QB. And we'll see how that Texans offense does with Davis Mills. I mean, obviously, if you're a betting man, I would tell you, I would probably take the Texans to cover, or I would take the Panthers to win out. But This is one of those games on Thursday night where you're like, yeah, I think I'm probably going to save my money for college football on Saturday. Like, this is one of those games that I would probably advise you not to bet, just because it has that feeling where you're like, I know where I would go, but I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I don't have confidence because the Panthers could win this game by 2 scores.
Yeah.
I mean, they could win 14 to 17 point victory, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is a touchdown game. And so I would tell you not to bet this game.
Yeah, my opinion is it's closer than that. I think that the reason it's closer than that is because I just think that I like Sam Darnold a lot. I do. I like his game. I like where he's going. I like the direction he's heading. But I also think we have to be realistic about the fact that this is still a guy who is maturing and developing, and mistakes are going to be made. And I just think that this Texans defense is not good, but it's good enough to cause problems. And when I look at the Panthers, I say, okay, yep, Christian McCaffrey, obviously, but you don't have a ton outside. Like, you have enough, but not anything that's like to be scared of. So to me, what this game says is a field goal victory at the end. And so how I think this plays out is the Texans are leading this game with like 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Wow.
Sam takes him down the field, and the Panthers win on a field goal, and it's like a 29-27 game. That's been happening a lot this year. We've seen a lot of tight games, and I just think the trend continues tonight.
All right, we'll see. I think this is a huge week in the NFL. Bears-Browns.
Can't wait.
This is a huge week in college football, by the way.
This is a great weekend of football ahead.
It is. It is. Fall weather's going to be here.
Let's go.
You know, I mean, you've
Smoker's
got
going to be on.
Yep.
Football on the tube, except for Utah because they're on the Pac-12 network.
I look at like Wisconsin Notre Dame is a huge game. That game is at Soldier Field. That's going to be massive.
That's fire.
Yep. Texas A&M and Arkansas and Raleigh is going to be a huge game. You know, I mean, obviously in the Pac-12, I think UCLA Stanford is a must win. It's on the farm.
Yep.
It is a must win for UCLA. They've got to get back.
There's a lot of games of consequence this week, I guess is the right way to say it. You know, the
Alabama game against Southern Miss. You know, they're playing the Golden Eagles. It's a huge rivalry. I think Utah's in a must-win situation against Washington State. I think if Washington State gets their doors off the unvaccinated freak, Nick Rolovich will lose his job. Seriously.
Where's SC at this week?
USC, and by the way, they're talking about playing Keaton Slovis.
Dude, there's going to be a coup on that football team.
Keaton Slovis is taking snaps with the ones. I hate that. SC is at home for Oregon State. It's at the Coliseum, 8:30. Yeah, it should be. It should be.
What happens if Slovis comes out, has a dog crap first half?
He won't. Oregon State's terrible. I think they're awful. I mean, if he comes out and plays poorly and gets benched, you can't bench him in this game. You can't. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you want to know what kind of testicular spherical awesomeness that this rookie head coach, the interim guy at SC has, Jackson
if you felt these balls,
Jackson Dart should be starting.
Dante.
I'm really upset about that.
Yeah.
I'm not an SC fan either.
It's stupid. It's not good footballing.
Anyway.
All right.
I'm just telling you, the Pac-12 this weekend, ASU, Colorado, huge game. There are a lot of teams with something to prove in the Pac-12 this weekend.
Thank you, BYU.
Listen, well, BYU's got a huge game this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Southern Florida is not, South Florida is not anybody to be trifled.
No, I'm just saying that BYU's been a wrecking ball for the Pac-12. That's all I'm saying.
Oregon's going to stomp Arizona.
Yeah.
When does Oregon have their letdown game? When does Anthony Brown stop playing like a Heisman Trophy winner? Because he's been pretty good for them. C.J. Verdell's been okay. The Ohio State game, he wrote his ticket on. Yep. Does Washington get back to good at home against Cal?
No. There's no coming back for Washington. That ain't happening. Not this year.
Why is Sam Heward not playing yet?
I don't know. See, again, it's Sam Heward, Jackson Dart. Like, you've got all these guys, Cam Rising now, right? You've got all these quarterbacks. And it's just amazing that I just am a big believer. It's like the Chicago Bears crap that we always talk
The
about.
Bears.
Why the hell are we playing Andy Dalton? Why? Why would you not just say, okay, future's here, let's go?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. By the way, this is pretty much a week off in the SEC. I mean, you get next weekend, you get Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Georgia's next weekend, Alabama, Ole Miss.
Let's go.
In Tuscaloosa's next weekend.
Let's go.
That's that afternoon game.
That's an October football game right there, baby.
Yeah, that's
Let's
that
go.
3:30 Eastern time kickoff.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be amazing. Auburn, LSU.
I don't know why. I just am giddy about football this year. It's just a great thing.
It's a great year of football, I'm telling you. There's some big time games this weekend.
Yeah.
This is the week that BYU can't let down.
Yeah.
This is that scary week for BYU because you had 3 huge games here. Arizona, and Arizona wasn't, the game itself was probably understated, but you're in Las Vegas, you're at Allegiant, sold out, 50,000 BYU fans. That place was lit. Huge game.
Yeah.
The rivalry game, it is what it is. If you need to be turned for the rivalry game, you probably shouldn't be playing football. And then ASU was a huge game. And now the Bulls of South Florida come to town.
Yep.
This is a game that you can't let down. And that's been the message the entire week. Can't let down, can't let down, can't let down.
Week of practice.
Yeah, let's go. It is to me one of those things where this is the big one. Brylark says 31-17 Panthers.
That could happen. For sure could happen.
Bryce Jensen said, I'd enjoy sports more if I rooted teams other than the Jazz and the Utes. You would. Your life would be much simpler.
Yeah, how about the Patriots and the Red Sox, or how about
be a Laker fan. Your life is very easy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? BYU has to be all gas, no break.
Sorry.
Correct.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
all gas,
Yeah,
no
sorry,
break.
guys.
Thanks, Jake.
Sorry, guys.
Appreciate
All
that.
gas, no break.
Tanner says, I agree, Monty. BYU can't screw up this Saturday against USF. I agree. Jimmer, number 2. Luca's mom, number 1, Brylark says.
Hey.
Okay. Top 10 comes out. All right, can we talk about this Gabby Petito thing? Because, listen, I'm a huge believer that there's a right way and a wrong way to cop, right? And I'm not talking about buying shoes.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So let me get this right. You pulled these kids over. They were having a mental incident. Gabby Petito and her jerk-off boyfriend, who's accused of murdering her.
Right.
I'm so upset about this. They get pulled over in Moab. And there was a witness account that this Brian Laundrie had slapped Gabby Petito.
Okay.
The two ran down the sidewalk, after which Laundrie hit Petito again and then drove off. A witness wrote that Petito and Laundrie were talking aggressively and that Petito was, quote, punching him in the arm. And said it looks like Laundrie was trying to leave Petito and take her phone with him.
Ooh.
When police responded, they forced a traffic stop of the van near Arches National Park and found that Petito was crying heavily in the passenger seat, where she told officers she was struggling with personal issues.
Ooh.
At no point in my investigation did Gabrielle stop crying, breathing heavily, or compose a sentence without needing to wipe tears away, wipe her nose, or rub her knees with her hands. And that the two had been traveling together for 4 to 5 weeks, living in a van, and that they had been arguing and emotional tension had built during the trip. Both agreed that Petito had struck Laundrie, as she was concerned that he would leave her alone and stranded after he got in the van. Cops characterized Petito as, quote, the suspect. The male tried to create distance by telling Gabby to take a walk and calm down. She did not want to be separated from the male and began slapping him. She showed indications of separation anxiety. No charges were filed. Police arranged for Laundrie to spend the night in a hotel and for Petito to stay in the van.
Ooh.
They later drove off together. So there's one incident. So now we know that Gabby Petito was later murdered. Her body was left in the wilderness at Teton National Park. And this dude went home. And according to his family, who in my personal opinion are a bunch of liars, went out for a hike in a wooded area or in a swampy area, and he hasn't come home. We're really worried about him.
Yeah.
Can you guys, as law enforcement, hey, can you guys go out and search the swamp-like area and try to bring our boy home?
That's not what we're about.
Stop. He was never hiking. So the cops sent all of their resources and money, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, to search this recreational area. Meanwhile, neighbors say they saw Brian Laundrie and his parents leave their Florida home with an attached camper after he returned from his trip without Gabby Petito. But he's camping over in the wilderness. Please go find him and save his life. And so they did, because his family said that they haven't been able to find him for 2 days. You took the word of his family? Meanwhile, he's off doing whatever he's doing in this camper, making his escape from Florida, while you guys are out wandering around in the swamps. Like,
wasting money.
I am amazed at how poorly the police have handled this situation in multiple incidents. Like, why did you not arrest Gabby Petito at Arches? Why did you not arrest her in Moab? I don't understand that. She aggressively assaulted her domestic partner. They were living in a van traveling the country. She assaulted him. Why did you not arrest her?
Yeah.
And now she turns up dead. After there was a domestic violence issue, after you had ascertained that they were both emotional and not in control, she was not in control of herself, and you let them go, she winds up dead. The guy she was traveling with went back home without her, took their van back home, or left with their van, and then he went home without the van, and now he just disappeared. And you guys are out in the swamp looking for him. Hey, good luck, stud. Hope you find whatever it is you're looking for in the swamp, because you're not looking for this guy.
Yeah.
Because he ain't out there, and I think you know he's not out there.
Yeah.
And that's why they stopped. I mean, the neighbors said they saw Laundrie leave on September 11th, the day Gabby Petito was reported missing. Laundrie's family told police last week that they had not seen him since September 14th, when he went out for a hike into the wilderness. Go find him. I'm so frustrated about this story.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been mishandled. There's no doubt. No doubt about it. 100% agree.
That family absolutely facilitated his escape, in my opinion. That's not known, but everything adds up to that. He goes home, gets a lawyer, won't speak, the family won't speak, and then all of a sudden he turns up missing, and you called because, we can't find him. He went out hiking. Oh, by the way, did you guys know your neighbors are saying that you drove off in a camper with him? You might want to talk to them about lying to the police. You took the family's word?
Yeah, I just don't understand it. I don't understand how that's even a possibility in this case. It doesn't matter how much of a show they put on when you're interviewing them or whatever. Like, you can't take their word. That's just awful policing.
The thing that's amazing to me is they seized this van from Laundrie's family's house. They have the van, right? Then they released a statement saying that a recent double homicide that also took place in Moab was determined to have been unrelated. So you believe that there was a double homicide that these people could have been involved in, and you did nothing?
No, you didn't do nothing. You took their word about their son, and then you went looking and wasted your time.
And then the FBI steps in, and finally, on the 20th, 9 days later, the FBI steps in, seizes his family's house in Florida, and calls it a crime scene. 9 days later. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, just give him a 9-day head start.
Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, and then there's this whole living in a van thing.
In a van down by the river.
Here's the other thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Why do we as humans romanticize everything? Oh, let's just get in a van and drive across the country together.
I want to live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, we'll camp and we'll make passionate love to each other under trees, and there will be butterflies. Why do we do that? And furthermore, like, we're into this thing in this country now where it's like, oh, let's see, I bought a pair of Jordans and it came with a shoebox. If we stack 2 of those shoe boxes on top of each other, can we fit a kitchen and a king-size bed in there? And we can live in there. In this small little thing. Why do we do that? Why do we try so hard to I don't know, what is it, non-conforming? I'm all about, as a young person, go see the world.
Yeah.
But did you really think that living in a van for life together, driving across the country would end well? You have no room to get away from each other. You're spending every day with each other. It is not surprising to me at all on any level that you would absolutely go batshit crazy living in a van with your significant other.
I'll drop that motherfucker.
Like, when we went camping, Mrs. Monty and I went camping up to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Like, you're on top of each other. And we were in a 20-something foot, 26-foot camper.
Yeah.
You're on top of each other. You have nowhere to go. And I can tell you, being married for 20 plus years, sometimes you just need a little space. Like Mrs. Monty and I work 5 feet apart from each other all day long. Sometimes you just need a little space. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that you have a bad relationship, or it's human nature.
Yeah.
So when you're 20-something and you're like, oh, I love you. Let's sweat on each other. It's like, dude, did nobody say to you, hey, man, that's going to be really difficult? By the way, like, were there rules about not pooping in the van? Like, do you think about going to the bathroom? Do you think about, like, all these little things?
Uh-huh.
Like, don't romanticize van life. Yeah, it's not. No, I'm serious. Like, it's not something to romanticize, bro. It is, when you live in a van, where do you go to get away?
I want to live in a van down by the river.
Right? This girl had such separation anxiety from this boy that they had a domestic violence incident on the streets of Moab. Because it gets in your head. It gets in your brain.
Yeah.
Relationships at their age, not living in a van when you live at your mom's and you live at your mom's and we see each other 3 times a week, relationships are hard. And then you throw all your crap into a van and you drive across the country camping and stopping. Camping across the country is not an easy life.
No.
Like, all you want to do, by the time you're a week into that trip, all you want to do is get out of the van. That's all you want to do.
Yep.
It's a tough way to live.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of what goes into that is that, the 20-something right now is mostly millennial or early on Gen Zers, and I think that millennials, it's well known, had everything kind of given to them, and so it kind of messed them up mentally, and put them in a place where they just think they can go and do anything, and that's not true. The question I always ask people is, okay, you want to be in a van and drive across the country? What are we doing for money? What are we doing for income? Are you going to sell your house? Are you going to end your lease on your apartment and have nothing to come back to? What how does that work?
I don't know. The crazy thing is that I don't know, man. I think that you don't think about that stuff. And
by the way, a van's not cheap.
No, and you got to pay for gas, and they don't get good gas mileage. And the other thing is that you don't think about is, like, what happens when you have a fight? Because you're going to have a fight. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to wind up on the streets of a little town in southern Utah slapping the crap out of your boyfriend?
Apparently.
They should have arrested her. They should have arrested her. And it just is, man, the cops have made so many mistakes here. Not immediately going to his home. There's a girl missing. You're not immediately going to question and put a string on a guy that is the prime suspect and was clearly the last person seen with her when she was alive. You're not going to follow him or tail him or surveil him?
Yeah, apparently not.
Are
It's
you
amazing.
serious?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I don't know, man. It is Brian Laundrie. And here's the other amazing thing. If you would have just stayed home and if you would have just said, hey, I have nothing to say, I'm not speaking to the cops. I'm not saying that's right, but it's smart. Brian Laundrie probably would not be in jail right now. You know, I mean, apparently the autopsy showed she was murdered.
Yeah.
Good luck proving this guy did it. Oh, well, now he hung a guilty sign around his neck by disappearing into a swamp, not driving off in a family camper. Right? And
the whole story is just jacked. I mean, you know, from beginning
totally
to end,
jacked.
Like, the whole thing is just a mess, man.
Totally
It's a mess,
jacked.
dude.
And again, when I know I say this when we talk about things like this. If you are not talking to your sons and daughters about this story, you're crazy. If you have youngsters and they don't know this story, you're crazy. Because your sons and daughters are going to grow up to be Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie. This is who your sons and daughters are growing up to be.
Yeah.
Right? Barfing Chicken says, did you hear apparently he live streamed on his Instagram for a few seconds and he was on a lake with a boat or something like that? Yeah, and I did see this story. Gabby Petito's fiance, Brian Laundrie, live streamed on Instagram Monday for a few seconds. Footage of the alleged live stream circulating on Twitter and TikTok showed open water, a camouflage croc shoe, and a floating plastic jug. It's questionable at best that the video was actually live streamed from Laundrie's Instagram account. Laundrie's Instagram handle is bizarre_design_, which has been tagged in multiple photos from Petito's account since March 2020. He last posted to his account on August 13th. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's absolutely crazy.
I mean, there's no doubt. The guy's on the run. Like, you're right. He looks incredibly guilty for this.
Shocking. Is there any chance this dude didn't do this?
No. Who else would have done it?
Maybe they were attacked in their campground. Maybe they were out in the wilderness. And this is how I'd be handling this if I were this guy and I was trying to get away. If you commit a crime, don't run. If you left a body out in the wilderness, the chances of there being real hard evidence that you committed that murder every day that they're out in the wilderness, it goes down. But if you're this guy, aren't you like, hey, man, we got attacked by Sasquatch. And he showed up. And if, he beat my girlfriend with a rock, I just got in the van and took off. I was terrified.
I'm a man.
I never went back. Is it that far-fetched?
I guess not. I guess it's a good excuse. I guess you could say that, but I don't know, man. Stories like this, how long is it before this shows up on on some crime show or something or whatever? Like, this story is just one of those stories.
There's going to be an unsolved mystery.
Yeah,
or...
Dick Wolf is going to write some SVU episode that's loosely based off of the Gabby Petito story. That's going to happen. So I don't know. I just think that, this guy, I 100% believe he did it. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I just wish that we were more aggressive in this country in situations like this. Like, I agree.
Yeah.
The home should have been seized, just like the van was seized. He should have been, held or something. Like, there's got to be some form of recourse.
Listen, they found this body. They autopsied it. The coroner determined that she was murdered. The cause of death is pending, but they positively identified her body and determined she was murdered.
Yeah.
Last guy that had seen her. Like, what are you doing? Spencer Morgan says, if you're going to start arresting women who hit their boyfriends or husbands, regardless of whether he wants charges filed, those jails are going to be filled up pretty fast. The double standard here is reality. You have to arrest them. That's why we have domestic violence laws and ordinances that do not leave room for error with the cops.
Yeah.
Like, I'm amazed that they did not arrest her. Amazed.
Yeah.
Tanner says, Bryce, what did they say? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Brylark says, in 8 years, the Netflix series about this is going to be riveting. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You know, it's remarkable. I love the LOL. I love the comment. I'm sorry. I love the title change of the stream from is Jimmer Fredette overrated to is Jimmer Fredette over. We didn't change the title. Cody Strickland says Brian is still not charged and probably in Mexico. Probably in Mexico.
He's probably chilling with the cartel in Juarez.
Spencer says, I've been married 20 years and no way am I going to live in a van with my wife for more than a couple of days straight. That's right.
Van down by the river.
You can't do it. I miss the 90s when a van down by the river was understood to be a negative thing. Yeah, it's not anymore. Now we have, like Sprinter vans from Mercedes-Benz and people are like, oh, I got to do it. Got to do it.
Well, you guys wanted to do it for a little while.
No,
but you don't
I'd
wanna
own
live,
one. I don't want to live in one. I'd love to have one
yeah.
so that I can go to Grand Teton or Yellowstone or Tahoe or wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in one.
Yeah, I don't want to live in one either.
No, I'm good. Bradlark says if they haven't charged him by now, it means they don't have enough to charge him, which means the chance he sees prison is remote at best until something else crazy happens. Eric and Rowley says, I'm shocked the podcast hasn't already started for the Petito murder. Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, it's got to, dude, it's tough to live in a van. I'm telling you. There's no good way out of that.
Yeah, it's a different way of life.
If I lived in a van with my wife, those shocks would be worn out, Giggity says. Well, I ain't saying that they wouldn't be. Good. Finally, let's talk about ass vacuums. Bro. So I've had trouble with my vet. So you know that my dogs have been at the vet recently.
Right. My
dog tried to, eat his leg off at one point because the vet ripped his nail off. So, nice. So we had to take him back. They fixed his nail. Everything was fine.
Right.
Well, before that, my other dog went in because he keeps licking his own ass, which I would do if I could, but anatomically, I'm not able.
Right.
But my dog keeps licking his ass. And so we finally said, okay, we got to take you to the vet. Well, it turns out they vacuumed his ass. They took the glands out. Yeah, I mean, they fired up the vacuum, sucked all that badness out of his butt. Everything was fine. And then he kept licking his butt. And so we call, and my vet blew me off for like 10 days.
Right.
Didn't call me back. And my wife's like, honey. And I'm like, okay, what's the number? And she's like, honey, be nice.
I'm a man.
They're nice people. And so I call them. They're like, oh, yeah, well, what do you mean he didn't call you back? I'm like, hey, it's been a week and a half. My dog's over here having a Thanksgiving feast in his ass. I need the guy to call me back. So he still doesn't call me back.
Right.
So yesterday I'm just sitting at the Yelpatory and my phone rings. And it's some other vet that works there calling to do a wellness check on my dog who they had deformed his nail. Right? And I'm like, hey, by the way, my dog's over here, just chowing down on his butthole.
Right.
And she's like, oh, that's the other vet. I'll have him call you.
Oh, there's another vet now. There's 3 vets now.
So then the guy, I guess, calls my wife back. And I just spit all over my keyboard. And so finally the lady says to me on the phone yesterday, well, he had called back the other day. I see it in the notes. Hold on, let me talk to him real quick.
Whatever.
And my wife again is like, honey, be nice. Like I'm ever not nice.
How dumb do you think I am?
So the lady gets back on the phone and she's like, well, he said that you could bring him in at any point today.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
And my wife's like, honey, I can bring him in at 4. And I say to the lady, I can bring him in at 4. And she's like, okay, that'll be great. Thanks. We bring him in at 4. They vacuumed his ass out. Huge infection in his butthole.
Right.
Like, apparently, they vacuumed out, like, a bunch of pus. You know, like, whatever they do, they just stuck a shop vac up there and, you know, pulled a bunch of whatever, like, infection out of there, and his butt was pussing. So my dog's been eating his own anal pus for, like, probably for, like, 3 weeks. And we wonder why he's insane. And so now it's like the cone of shame. He's got to get a shot. He's got to wear the cone of shame, so he's miserable. And then my other dog, Django, yesterday, like, is growling at him and, like, won't let him get in. Like, their beds were next to each other down here in our office studio, not big enough, like a van down by the river room.
Right.
And my one dog, Django, is, like, bullying my other dog who's got a cone of shame on, had his ass vacuumed, and took, like, an antibiotic shot in the butt.
And kick a person when he's down.
And then you're going to try and keep him out of his own bed.
What a douche.
And my wife's like, honey, what do I do? He's going to bite me. And I'm like, slap that dog on the ass and show him who's boss.
Because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Notice he doesn't do that to me. Because he knows what'll happen. Anyway, I'll tell you what now. So it winds up being fine, but I'm just telling you, the vet is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a racket.
If you got to go to the vet, it's an absolute nightmare. I just don't do it. Unless it's a major flipping catastrophe, please don't take your dogs to the vet. Now, if they're pussing out of their butt and they're constantly eating out,
and it's going to go into crisis lockdown mode here at the house,
and it's like dog on dog porn or whatever, probably should take them to the vet. Tell me you wouldn't if you could. Anyway, the point is, don't take them to the vet. I just am not going to do it anymore. You know what? Like, this trip to the vet over the last month, and my wife is sitting right here, but you guys tell me if I'm wrong. The vet did more harm than good to my dogs.
Yeah,
this time around.
They ripped out a dew claw. It just is.
Well, not only that. So, and this vet is very good when they're very good. But, like, so we take him in to get his nails trimmed and get him his don't murder people shot tetanus thing or whatever you call it.
Right.
And rabies. Thank you.
Rabies.
Same thing.
Yeah,
tetanus, rabies.
Same
it is
thing,
what it is.
You know.
You know, the kung flu. Just take the shot. Which.
You are fake.
Yes, I am. Anyway, the point is, so they trim the nail too long on, like, you know, your dog has that claw on the side of his arm.
dew claw.
Whatever, the dew tour. So we take him to the dew tour guy, and they cut it really short. It gets infected. He's in pain. And so we take him back, when they cut it too short, they put tape on it, like medical tape. Which, by the way, when you put medical tape on a dog's arm, it sticks to his arm. So now we can't get the medical tape off. The thing looks like a raspberry. Honestly, it looks like a raspberry on his arm.
Dude. It was huge.
It was infected. So we got to take him back to the vet. They got to give him an antibiotic. We got to give him this stupid painkiller thing. And we're like Traeger smoking chicken that my dogs are getting more of than I am.
Yeah.
It's fine. They didn't charge us for that. But then, like, we're like, hey, this guy's butt is inflamed. You know, and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. We stuck a thing up there and he's fine. His anal glands were, we vacuumed it all out. And then he comes home and he just won't stop licking. And it's like, hey, man, call me back. Hey, call me back. Hey, it's me. Can you call me back? Hey, my dog's chowing on his butthole. Can you call me back? They don't call you. Oh, and then I finally get somebody on the phone. They're like, oh, hi. The vets are on vacation.
What's wrong with you?
All right, when will they be back? Like on Thursday. So I called back last Thursday. They're like, oh, he didn't call you back yet? It's like, no, he didn't call me back yet.
Okay, fuck you. How's that?
So anyway, don't take your dog to the vet.
Okay, good. All right, good.
And finally.
Yeah. Comments on that?
Cody Strickland says, time to put Old Yeller down. That's funny.
Old Yeller.
Man. Jeremy Bolton says, yes, ass vacuums. Yes. Eric and, or Jeremy Bolton says, I didn't bring it up today. No, you didn't. I did. You know, it is what it is.
Right.
Bryce Jensen says, these dog drops are lit. The drop machine. The drop machine is so good. Brylark says, I can't believe you'd leave Django unchained. Exactly.
Hey, you know?
He's a little jerk.
He is. He's an asshole.
Django, come here. Come here. Come. You're an asshole. Like, he won't. Come here. Come here. Let's see if I can get him to jump up here.
Okay,
Come
here
here.
we go. Play by
Django,
play.
come.
Dog's under the desk.
Come.
He's under
Come
the
on.
desk.
Come.
But there's some hesitation.
Django.
Oh, I think
Come.
I just saw him going to down
Come
dog.
on. Come on. Up.
Hey. What's up, asshole?
There
How
he
are you?
is. Now, this guy is,
No, meanwhile, Rhino's still eating his ass over here.
yeah, he has a cone of shame on. So this is the guy who attacked the electrician. The electrician shows up, and this guy just like went hammer. Yeah. And like we're out walking the dogs the other day, and this guy bit my wife's leg because there was another dog there. Who do you want to get down now? Okay, fine. I try to make you a superstar on YouTube, you jerk, and then you leave out your hair on me.
Good, good.
He's not nice.
No,
that
he's a
dog.
moody little dog.
He is. It sounds like you need a rack attack your dog. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
That's true. Yeah.
The rack attack.
Yeah, and finally, the booster has been approved. So,
Yeah.
I'm getting a booster.
Yeah, I get my second stick tomorrow.
You do, that's right. So we immediately, so if you don't go to U of U Health, you're a fool. The My Chart app, I think it's called, for U of U,
Yeah.
is amazing. You can directly message your doctor, and it takes like 5 minutes for them to respond. So I had messaged them a couple months ago, and I said, hey, what about a booster? And they said, as soon as it happens, as soon as you see it approved, message us. We'll be able to get you an appointment.
Yeah.
So the news breaks yesterday, and I was watching MSNBC, and it like came across the screen. Immediately messaged my doctor at U of U, and he was like, hey, yeah, call this number, make an appointment. You don't have to come in and see me, but tell them you need a nurse appointment, and they'll schedule you for a booster.
Okay.
He's like, you're good to go. So, like, I don't even have to wait.
Okay,
I'm getting
good.
a booster.
Cool.
There, like, I am not hesitating. I am not waiting.
So does getting a booster at all free you up in life, or it just gives you more protection?
It gives you more protection. But by the way, you sent me a little thing on the iPhone about the vaccine
iPhone,
passport.
So Apple's rolling out an app where you can, you know how you have like, and it's on Samsung too. I'm sure they'll roll something out, but like you have your digital wallet. So as part of the digital wallet app, you're going to be able to have a digital vaccination card.
Yeah.
I don't know the process behind that yet. It's still pretty new, but I think that's smart. I think that's really smart.
I think it's
'cause
really
I think it's
smart.
trending towards, you know, you're going to have proof of vaccination to travel. And like, that's why, you know, that's the only reason. I mean, I guess not the only reason, but the main reason I ended up getting the Pfizer vaccine after having J&J was because of Hawaii. So, you know, I just think I just thought it was really smart and really pragmatic.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I think it's one of those things where it only makes sense. My wife is waving a shoe in my face.
Our face.
Um,
Okay, here we go again. Shoe drops on the show.
okay. There's like less than a minute left in whatever. Is it an auction? What are we looking at?
Yeah, what are we looking at here? What's the breakdown here? What kind of a shoe are we talking about?
I don't know, but I can't even get into the sneakers app right now.
Okay, all right.
The LeBron 18, that's tomorrow, the shoe I want. I don't know what shoe you're talking about. The Air Max BW. Oh, yeah. I like that shoe a lot. Oh, there's 40 seconds to join that draw? Well, now you tell me.
I just saw it.
I spend so much money on shoes. It's ridiculous.
It's brutal, dude. Never gonna.
I've got to stop
yeah,
buying
dude,
shoes.
Like it's awful.
It
I
is-
just bought another pair of 90s, like literally right now, and it's terrible.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What pair of 90s did you buy?
The Off Noir, however you pronounce that.
Oh, wow.
We've encountered in air. They're probably sold out already. Typical Nike.
I like that daughter shoe. I like that daughter shoe a lot. I'm telling you, the LeBron 18 low, can't beat it for comfort working out. Anyway, it's not. You guys are addicted to this shoe thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you going to break that? I'm not. I'm probably not.
Yeah, well, if I break the shoe thing, then I'm gonna get back into car parts. So it's
going to be one thing.
It's a slow, painful death financially.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, seriously, it's not like we're smoking crack. All we do is buy shoes and shoe
Crack,
boxes.
ice, boom, pow.
Yeah, I mean whatever you want to call
whatever
it.
you want to call it. Boom, pow.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm getting the. Your submission was not selected.
Owned.
They hate me.
Owned.
They hate me.
Owned.
Fat Jesus says, "What about a Nike ass vacuum?" Are you guys going to get the Pfizer booster? I'm absolutely getting the booster. There's not a question about it.
So here's my question.
There's not a question about it.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
I got J&J 10 months ago now, or whatever it's been.
Uh huh.
So I got my first Pfizer shot 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, yeah. And I'm getting my second one tomorrow.
Okay.
So then should I then get the booster too?
No, you have to wait 6 months to get the booster.
And now you have to wait 6 months.
But you're going to have
rules are rules.
you're going to have incredible protection.
Yeah.
Because we now know
protection's
that
the name of the game, isn't it?
Good. Why is everything with you got to be about sex?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You're a pervert.
What?
No, I'm kidding. What? Me?
I'm a man.
Yeah, I like sex. Is what it is. She probably played the music, but yeah, I'm getting the booster, no question about it. Yes, somebody on Twitter called me a sheep yesterday. Yeah, great, cool.
Yeah, cool.
I'm a sheep.
All right.
I'm not getting coronavirus.
All right. Well, when you're in your hospital bed in the ICU, I'll be happy to be a sheep. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
By the way, more proof Donald Trump is broke. I'm telling you, this thing with his former CFO, Alan Wieselberg, it's getting real now.
Yeah.
It is getting real now. Question, ass vacuum, Luca's mom or Gobert's jump shot? Which one you taking? They all suck. Wow.
Damn.
Bryce Jensen is my new favorite.
Fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fire.
Bryce Jensen's my new favorite listener. I wanted to get the booster, but I heard the booster was for people over 65. Apparently not, because they're giving it to me. Kim Jake Un, Eric and Raleigh says.
Okay.
He's on that.
Cool, man.
Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.